Hey everyone, it's Ivan, KitBadger.com, here to bring you a little how-to. And today we're going to talk about how to take apart and clean our pistol booster for our Liberty Mystic or Mystic X suppressor. Taking a step back, why are we cleaning this thing? If you've ever seen my rifles and bolt carrier groups, you'd realize pretty much never clean shit. As long as it's running, we're good, maybe add some more lube. Thing is, pistol boosters, a lot more so than the AR platform, can get a little bit finicky. And so what we want to make sure we do is occasionally get all the carbon out. Because if you put a lot of rounds through this, you're going to have a lot of carbon building up. What that does is it's going to retard everything in here, so it's not going to function properly. So your pistol consequently won't cycle correctly. If I didn't have to clean this, I wouldn't, but I do, so I'm going to. First thing that's going to happen, start with a nice clean workspace like this rock, and I need to go ahead and take this back piece off of this booster. So I'm going to just go ahead and unscrew that. Once this back piece comes out, you're going to have this piston right here, and there's also a spring here. You can pull the spring out, it's all going to come out. And this piston, if for whatever reason you can kind of wiggle it, maybe get this guy to come out. If any of this stuff's stuck, whether these threads or anything else, you can go ahead and throw some oil on there, let it penetrate, it should loosen it up for you. And if this guy does not want to come out, go ahead and thread it onto your host weapon, which is ideally cleared. And then you can get a little more leverage to pull this guy out. How do we get this stuff cleaned up? Pretty much like any other gun part. If you have some solvent, you can use that. Otherwise, get after it with your scrub brush and some oil. Again, like any other weapon system, you have your sweet unlabeled bottle of baby oil. Just kidding. Pretty sure it's Slip 2K. But if you have some solvent, that'll definitely help. Otherwise, just get some sort of good weapon lube, and you just want to get all this stuff off. Obviously, this stuff here, important to get off your threads, especially when you're threading stuff back together, otherwise it will not go together. But then your other big part is going to be this spring, getting this guy cleaned up, and then this piston. We want to make sure we get this guy, I mean, it doesn't have to be spotless, but we want to get the majority of the carbon off this so that it's not going to hang up when we're firing it, and it's not going to induce any type of malfunction. After we love on this for a little while with our brush and our oil, we're going to get it pretty clean. How clean? Yes. This isn't inspection ready. Suppressor police aren't going to come out and be like, all right, take apart your booster, let me see that thing. What we're looking for is functional cleanliness. Does it function? Yes. Then we're good to go. So to that end, going to get the lion's share of the carbon off of it, spring kind of inside that housing so this guy can move freely and not get jammed up, so it's going to function properly. So once we got this clean, we're going to put it back together. This thing's pretty much going to go together in reverse order. One thing we do want to make sure of is that we lube this. If you have some anti-seize or something along those lines, you can most certainly use that. Probably recommended. I don't have any. So I'm going to go ahead and get some oil on this guy, on this piston right here. And I'm also going to make sure I get this spring oiled up good as well. Once I've done that, I'm going to take this piece here, and these are going to correspond with these openings in this booster. So I'm going to make sure they line up, get that down in there where it needs to be. Once that's done, I'm going to take this again, making sure there's some oil in there so it can move. Drop that guy in cap, goes on as such, slides down till you get the thread contact. We're just going to screw this guy in. One thing I did, and I forgot to tell you about, is these threads, as I'm screwing this on, make sure you put just a light coat of oil, something along those lines. If you have some anti-seize grease, whatever you want to do that, that's fine. But some oil will save you in the long run. We need to take this thing apart, service it again. Because if you don't, that carbon can build up in there. This thing can be a monster to take apart. But at this point, our booster's all nice and clean, ready to go put more rounds through it. As always, thanks for joining us at KitBadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.